How we doing, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. I am Jason C, and welcome to episode number 2 of my Scotchy September. Super excited, guys, to bring you the Balvenie Doublewood. This was one of the most recommended bottles that I try. Such cool history to this distillery. But as always, before we get into it, let's take a look at this really cool bottle and canister. Here we go. Hey guys, welcome back. I am super excited to get into this bottle. Once I learned that Balvenie was one of the whiskeys I was imparted into creating Monkey Shoulder, and this was one of the top recommendations for me to try from people as I go through my journey of Scotch in September here. I was really intrigued. Has such a cool story behind it. I always geek out about the stories. This is a 5-generation family-owned distillery. These guys still grow their own barley. They still malt their own barley down in the on their malting floors using the traditional method of turning it, with the shovel, and hopefully not getting too much of that monkey shoulder that we talked about in the last episode. And they also have coopers that tend to each cask, for aging in case anything goes wrong. It's a really old school way of doing it from what I found out, and I love that when it comes to creating whiskey. So a little bit more about the Balvenie. This is the Doublewood 12. It's a 12-year Scotch, single malt Scotch. So Doublewood 12 was launched in 1993. This was using a process designed by the Balvenie malt master David Stewart in 1982, which is now commonly known as wood finishing. So to make the Balvenie Doublewood, David Stewart took whiskey that had spent at least 12 years in traditional whiskey casks, American oak ex-bourbon barrels and hogsheads, and moved it to Spanish oak ex-Oloroso sherry casks for an additional 9 months. Then the whiskey is then transferred to large oak vessels called tuns, as we talked about, for about 3 to 4 months. I'm kind of seeing that when I do some research about Scotch, that a lot of these finished whiskeys are transferred to tuns so the flavors can marry up. And then after about 3 to 4 months, it comes out and it has some really unique flavors to it, resulting in a really great single malt whiskey with a lot of different character. All right, now it's time to get into this really cool bottle. Can't wait, guys. I love the artwork on these labels. It's so kind of classic and classy. Even gives you the casks on the side to show you the maturity it went through. Just kind of a nice use of the label. So let's open this up. Ooh, that was a nice pop you can hear in Scotland, right? All right, here we go. Oh, that's a big pour, as always, even for Scotch, not just bourbon. All right. So first, let's check the color on it here. And similar to the Monkey Shoulder, it's pretty light. It's got a nice honey color, but slightly darker. You can tell it's kind of imparted some of that aging and maybe some of those Oloroso sherry colors into it as well. So really nice color, very golden. All right. Let's get into the nose here. So, as I mentioned, coming off of being such a bourbon guy, the barley always hits me first. Such a powerful smell for me, but it smells good. Okay. Now I'm getting raisins. I've had this. I've had this smell in sherry finished bourbons too, where you get kind of like that raisin smell when you open a fresh box of sun-made raisins. Definitely some vanilla in there, probably from the ex-bourbon casks. Definitely smell a little bit of honey. You could definitely smell the sherry a little bit, I think. It's not overpowering. It's just very, very pleasing. It's a similar nose to the monkey shoulder that I found, but definitely has a little bit more depth to it. That raisins and honey, that little bit of sherry, you can smell it. Not very powerful on the nose. As far as alcohol, this is 43%, so 86 proof, so not too high. So I'm not really getting a big alcohol burn. It's very nice on the nose, very, very inviting. All right, here we go. Cheers, everyone. Wow. All right. So compared to the monkey shoulder, this one definitely has a longer finish. It's very warming. Is there such thing as a Scottish hug? Not like the Kentucky hug, because I'm getting one. It's very warming. You definitely have that vanilla. There's some cinnamon in there. Definitely a lot more fruity. But I think a lot of those, the ex-bourbon barrel flavors, I can really taste in there. But definitely on the end, you're getting that sherry. Let's go for that awesome second sip. Yeah, dried fruits. It's got a little bit of nuttiness to it. Wow, that's pretty delicious. Just kind of a classic flavors, you know, to me that remind me of bourbon in there as well. But definitely has that sherry, the barley. You can taste maybe a little bit of the wood in there too. It's really good. It's definitely way more complex to me than the monkey shoulder was. The monkey shoulder was just pretty sweet all the way through, but this has another kind of level of complexity to me that I'm getting now. You know, from the probably all the different casks that this was in. So. Yeah, vanilla, you're getting the honey. Definitely a little bit of the wood, has a very, very slight sherry finish. You're not getting a lot of smoke on this one. This is a Speyside whiskey, or a Speyside Scotch, I should say. It's Speyside Scotches are pretty much known for their sweeter whiskeys. Then you kind of have the Highlands that have probably a mix of sweet and a little bit of smoke, and then you have the Islay whiskeys, where I'm going to see if I can get to by the end of September, which impart a lot of that peat smoke. But this is super delicious and so good. Yeah. As I said, just honey, vanilla, just a really delicious Scotch. I would probably take this over the monkey shoulder. This is really good. I really like that slight sherry influence in there to go along with those flavors from the vanilla, the honey, and kind of those ex-bourbon cask flavors that I'm getting in this. It's really good. Man, I'm enjoying this Scotch journey. I'm only two reviews in. Yeah, I'm curious now what kind of those sherry bombs are going to be that they call it, with the Macallans and the Aberlours, Glengoyne. So that'll be really interesting to get into too. This to me just has kind of a slight sherry finish to it. It's not too heavy, but really delicious. So this bottle for me, I found it was about between 50, 60 bucks, something like that. For this, I think it's well worth it. I mean, it's such a good dram, easy sipper. Compared to some of the other Scotch prices I've seen, you know, this is a relative bargain for what you're getting here. And you know, you're getting super quality from a historic distillery that, you know, does things old school. And, you know, I love that. I'm definitely going to be hunting out some more Balvenies to try after having this guy. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, go out and get it. It's awesome. All right, guys, so thanks for stopping by. As you can see, I have some more Scotches I'm going to be hitting on as we go through the month of September. And I think what I am going to do is get to the end and try to try some of the peated ones. So I would like you guys to kind of give me some feedback in the comments. Is it Laphroaig? Is it Ardbeg? Or should I do Lagavulin? You guys let me know, or should I just try all three and get crazy? Let me know in the comments. Find me on Instagram. There's a link below. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers everybody, and see you next time.